So over the past year, I've been recording videos about all kinds of different topics, and now I'd like to sort of tie them together in some kind of clear way. Because it's really been an anthology where I just say something different every day. And, it might be useful to actually put them together somehow. So the first series that I have, and the first collection of ideas is about the idea of getting started in making life better. This idea that somehow we feel like the life we're living is not where we want to be. And many people have had this feeling. Maybe everybody has it, or almost everybody has it to some degree. But then at certain times it may manifest more, that just this feeling that I'm not happy with the way that I'm living my life, the way that has become the normal life for me. It's maybe in the past I saw it as being normal life, but now I'm not willing to continue to accept it as normal life. I am ready for a change. And this is where you start to open the door into the whole world of self-development. I wish I'd started younger, because it was only well into my 30s that I started to consider these ways of improving my life. Of course, all the time we want to make things better, but in one way or another, but never really thought about it in a clear way. This idea that I want to improve myself. I want to improve my habits, improve the way that I live. And I want to make changes that I think can bring my life closer to what I imagine a good life could be. Despite everything that any of us has been through in life, as long as we're still alive and we still have time, we can do things differently, and we can have new possible experiences in life. And that's really the first step, I find, is to believe that it is possible. We have to believe that we are going to be able to, somehow it is possible, at least somebody could potentially change their life. You're not locked in. Even if you don't know the way to actually improve your life, you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to get started, but maybe the very first step is to decide that, okay, it is possible. I have a shot. It's somebody, even maybe I can't do it, but somebody could maybe do it. So at least think it's possible before we know how. So the first step, to believe that it is possible. Then we can address, well, maybe there's various other things that are stopping this change, the change that we decided to make. Feeling that it's too difficult, that we're nowhere, we're too far gone, or starting at too low a level. So then I get into the idea of starting from zero, starting from absolutely nothing, being okay with starting from absolutely nothing, so that nothing can hurt you, nothing can hold you back when you're at zero, because there's you can't go any further back. Unless you can get into negative numbers, you want to, I guess so, depending how you work the metaphor, you could say, okay, I can be negative, worse than zero, but imagine that you're just at the lowest place you can be, and you're just nothing, and be able to start from that. And there's a strength that comes from being able to start from nothing and be able to start anew. Then there's just a reluctance of not wanting to change. Now, maybe if you're looking at this material at all, you in some way want to have a better life, but the actual process of changing, is often very uncomfortable and annoying. And so sometimes we just don't want to change because we're in comfortable habits. And there I find the remedy for that is to remind myself that I will change anyway. Because no matter whether I choose to direct and control the change, influence it myself, or whether I just try not to change, no matter what, I still will change with time. And so accepting that this change is inevitable and it is possible, then the next step would be to be able to make a fresh start, be able to break out of the existing story that we have. This idea of there's a story of my life and I'm on a certain trajectory. To be able to leave that behind and be able to start a new story. And that can be very liberating, the feeling that whatever I thought my life was about in the past, it doesn't have to remain that way in the future. And so we can begin a new story. And so with all that as the foundation, then this process of self-development can really get underway.